Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. Now in this video I'll be doing the latest Manchester United news. In this video I'll be talking about JADON, SANCHO, the latest on a new centre back and much more. So don't forget to drop a like, comment and stay tuned for more videos. This is another interesting news video as the transfer window hottens up. We'll be giving you the latest Manchester United news. So yeah, there's some very interesting stories coming in, talking about Trevor Chalobah, a new physio at Manchester United, new signings, the JADON Sancho situation as well, which I briefly talked about. But yeah, so the JADON Sancho stuff, it was very interesting. Benny McCarthy, who's a coach at Manchester United, said a few things. He said, "I spoke to Jadon Sancho as a coach, as a mentor, as a friend, as someone who grew up on the streets and knows the code, but Jadon Sancho wasn't seeing it." He said, "I ain't apologising, because if I do, I'm apologising for being lazy, always being late and not giving my best. That's what I'm apologising for," and those were his reasons. I spoke to the manager and Ten Hag. I said that you need to know the delicacy, and I think Jadon Sancho feels that if he apologises, he's going to be classed as someone who doesn't train hard, that doesn't work hard, and he doesn't give everything that's said against him was true. If you're from the streets, no one wants to apologise. You admit that you are not training well, you are lazy, everything you're accused of. Jadon wasn't going to have it. The manager just said all he wants is an apology. The thing that I think is happening here, Sancho doesn't really want to apologise. I think he's happy where he is at Dortmund. I think he's doing well there in the Champions League final. I don't think he sees a future at United himself. He's not going to bow down to the Ten Hag situation. I don't think he's going to apologise to Ten Hag either. So we can see that's been made obvious. And I think that's the important factor that needs to be discovered out of the whole thing. Sancho, and it's not just this is the first time he's had issues with his attitude. It's been at Dortmund. It's been at times where he was at Manchester City. And when he was at United. So it's a recurring thing that's happened throughout Jadon Sancho's career. And I don't think he has the correct attitude that he's been showing to be a Manchester United player. I do certainly think he has the quality, but he also needs the attitude and the mentality. If you compare him to some of the players in our squad, he certainly just doesn't have that for me. So yeah, that is the latest on Jadon Sancho. It's very interesting to see Benny McCarthy talk about, and it doesn't look like Sancho will apologise to Erik Ten Hag. Anyway, now let's get straight into the next thing. Manchester United are taking their time over the future of Ten Hag, and no decision is expected on the manager this week. The club wants to ensure that they work through all considerations carefully before arriving at a decision. I mean, we kind of knew that. It was reported yesterday from Ben Jacobs that some of the Manchester United fans, there'll be clarity either today or tomorrow. Now, some people are reporting that there might not be any clarity. Listen, whatever happens with Ten Hag, we will be informed hopefully before the transfer window starts in 2 weeks' time. I think that's the most important thing about it. We want to be going into the transfer window signing players that the manager wants and ultimately they need. We can't go in there if there's still uncertainty over the manager. So I'm hoping a decision can be made around that really soon. And I think that's integral for what Manchester United needs to do. If we're still limbering over what's happening with the manager going into the transfer window, it's gonna massively affect us. We ultimately need to get our ins and outs of the transfer window as early as possible, so we can be the most consistent and most efficient team we possibly can. And that starts by, as I said, doing the ins and out correctly. And starting with the right momentum that we need to go forward. So talking about transfer targets, some of the Manchester United transfer targets are unsure if the club will advance with the interest and uncertainty over the manager Erik Ten Hag. Manchester United have prioritised 3 significant signings: a centre-back, a midfielder and a forward, with any other incomings funded by planned outgoings. The signing is a very interesting thing. That's what I just said. The Manchester United, some targets will be put off obviously amid what's happening with the manager. That's why I said we need that clarity before the transfer window starts. I think it's very important to see that. And yeah, we need the targets, because there's quite a few targets that Manchester United have. There's certain players that we want to get. And yeah, we have to be efficient with that. And getting clarity over the manager is one of the most important things, in my opinion, we can certainly do to make sure that players feel like they're welcome, players feel like they want to be coming to Manchester United. And yeah, that certainly needs to happen. So yeah, we need certainty on Erik Ten Hag, and we need to make sure that what his future is and what even happens with his future. The 3 significant signings: a centre back, a midfielder and a forward. Listen, if a centre back I would love to sign, it would either be like there's quite a few options to be fair. Mine would probably be Adebayo. I think Tadibo and Lena Euro are fantastic options as well. So certainly if we can get one of them free, I'll be really happy with that. A midfielder, Yusuf Fofana has been mentioned. Amadou Onana, he's been mentioned. Palhinha's been mentioned. Yeah, so any one of them. And a forward, Ivan Toney, Watkins. Sesko looks like he's going to Arsenal. I just think we need an experienced striker who can come in and help Højlund fill that role, because it's a difficult job there, and you need two strikers for me to compete. We've got a young striker. We need more of a experienced striker, in my opinion. Now, Arsenal physio Jordan Rees is set to join Manchester United. Final negotiations are taking place about his departure date. Now, listen, Manchester United, we robbed the head of medical before, Gary O'Driscoll, and it seemed like the injuries didn't really do that. And with all the injuries we've had this season, we certainly need to change up our medical department. Arsenal physio Jordan Rees is set to join Manchester United. United have made an offer to approach highly respected Rees from the Premier League rivals, and final negotiations are taking place about his departure date. The Old Trafford club are in the middle of a medical review after being hit with a catalogue of injury problems which blighted our whole season. It's been undertaken by United Dr. Gary O'Driscoll, who used to work at Arsenal and clearly knows Rees from his time at the club. United will be delighted with his appointment, which will be seen as a huge positive in the Old Trafford hierarchy. Rees has gained a reputation working well with players, was credited for helping players like Gabriel Jesus through long-term injuries, and is regarded one of the best in the game. Arsenal were reluctant to lose him, having fought to keep O'Driscoll before he left for Old Trafford last season. Listen, it seems like the Arsenal people want to come to us. Certainly the medical team. I think I don't really know too much about the medical stuff, but we know that Manchester United have been hit with a lot of injuries, and he's certainly someone who can help. So yeah, he looks at training methods, rehabilitation, and trying to understand the underlying issues, but also want to get the best in class from the medical perspective. United's biggest problem was the defence that constantly changed and was a key factor in our form towards the end of the season. United have already said publicly they're reviewing Ten Hag's position. And yeah, listen, I think as I said, we were in need of a new physio. Some of the stuff that's been going on at Manchester United has been horrible with the injury, so hopefully someone can sort that out. Now, finally, I wanted to discuss about a centre-back that's been linked to Manchester United. Manchester United are tracking Trevor Chalobah, but may not meet Chelsea's 25 million valuation of the centre-back. Chelsea understood that to prefer to listen offered for the homegrown talent Chalobah this summer. I think Chalobah's a decent centre-back. He does have good qualities. He's good on the ball, but he does have some weaknesses. He's decent, but I think Manchester United can certainly do better. I think you look at the ceiling of a Euro, of a Tadibo, of a Adebayo. I think they're much better than Chalobah. I think Chalobah struggled with injuries a lot. I mean, he can play well. He's all right. 25 million could be something Manchester United invest in. He's Premier League proven. But watching him play, I just don't think we're not better off. I don't think he's much better than Maguire or he's much better than Lindelof. We need someone the next best in class. So yeah, that's the latest United news. Drop a like, comment, subscribe, and peace.